7 minutes till midnight. Time for one more story. I could tell you the story about the old crone that lives up in here, the one with no eyes. I can tell you about the owl that stands as tall as a man. But those are stories for a different time. For you, I'm going to tell you the story on why you don't answer when someone calls your name out here. This story begins with a young couple. Ben and Lori were their names, I do believe. Ben was a machinist, steady with his hands. Lori was a homemaker, sweet girl, good heart. They just wanted a weekend away. Just the two of them. So they packed up and drove out here, to Cowboy Lingo. They chose to stay at Cabin 13, where you guys are bunking at tonight. They continued their afternoon, settling in, letting the cabin breathe around them, just getting a feel for their surroundings, preparing themselves for a nice, quiet weekend, not knowing what was lurking just beyond those trees, watching, waiting. Something was already here, and it had been here for a very long time. Ben was the first to hear it. A faint, playful call just beyond the woodline. He shrugged it off. Lori heard something too, while she was wandering through the woods. Same voice, same soft comment. Ben heard something else later that evening, but this time, it was Lori's soft, familiar voice. His blood ran cold when he stepped inside and saw Lori just sitting there, writing in her diary.
Were you just outside?
No, I've been in here. I've been hearing weird things all day since we got here.
Honey, I think we should stay inside tonight.
I wish I could tell you that they remained safe. That staying inside, they didn't see anything. But if that was the case, I wouldn't be telling you the story. My granny used to say if these woods ever learned your name, they'll whisper it back to you. Not to call you home, but to pull you in deeper. Ben and Lori's lives were forever changed when they were startled awake by a series of knocks at the front door. Ben got up and opened the door, expecting a ranger, or maybe even a lost hiker, looking for some help. But stood there in front of him on that porch was something else.
Come outside.
Wearing a woman's shape. Lori heard Ben's voice drifting out from those woods, but she knew Ben hadn't left the cabin. Something about his sound hooked deep into her bones, and it tugged her towards the tree line.
Come outside.
Lori's soft, familiar voice entranced Ben, blinding him to the evil that had already seeped into their cabin. He stepped outside. He didn't make it far. Those who feed the roots were waiting for him, and they took him. Ben came to with his head pounding, his eyes still trying to adjust to see those figures surrounding him. And then he saw her, and in that precise moment, his entire world shattered. I'd like to tell you that Ben broke his bonds, dragged Lori back into the light, and together they escaped this nightmare. But this story doesn't end that way. Sometimes, the forest needs to feed, and people need to bleed. Their hearts were given to these woods, and they accepted the offering. You see, this place belongs to those who feed the roots, and they serve not just a man or a ghost, but a deity of bark, moss, and bone. They serve Morwenanoth. It's older than the letters carved into that faded welcome sign. Older than the blacktop roads that carried you guys in here tonight. And as long as they obey and provide offering to the forest, Morwenanoth will shield them from the laws of man. And bring them prosperity. The next morning, it was as if they weren't even here. Not a footprint, not a tire track. It's as the earth swallowed them up. The only thing left of those two were faded missing posters attached to telephone poles.
If they disappeared, then how do you know that?
Of course I know that's how it happened. It always happens that way. Just like how our grandparents used to do it.
Well, that's what I call entertainment.